if I can get the people interested. Okay.
I've got a watch team. I do
Oh,
indeed.
yo.
Fall just called me Tim Tam. Fall just called me Tim Tam. I'm
Hmm?
I've unmuted myself.
Yeah, I
They
can
can't
hear
hear
that.
you.
Oh, whoops, sorry, I need to
Yeah.
mute you so that
So you're
nobody...
just talking to random people in your head, Ham.
Yeah, yes, I am. And the reason for it is because I have the same hotkey to mute my mic on Discord and on OBS. So if I mute to cough, I
Oh,
need it to be for everything.
Ooh,
that's
fair.
fun, that's fair enough.
So I need to be unmuted at the same time and muted at the same time, so that when I mute to cough on Discord, I don't accidentally. That
Well
means I
then.
unmute on OBS and then cough onto my stream.
Oh.
Everyone's eardrums are gone.
Yeah,
Hello,
which I mean, you
Fall.
guys already heard. I made
What's up,
that
Fall?
mistake once already tonight. So
Hey, Bread and Fall also popping on my stream. Hey guys, how's it
yeah,
going?
so
Hope all is well.
hey viewers, point of this is
Viewers.
to recap all of the 8-bit SMP lore.
Here, I'll
And
pull up...
probably some of the non-lore stuff as well, actually.
Honestly,
We're probably just
yeah.
gonna go through everything.
I might even, like, go over some of the stuff for, like... What, like, right after, like, some of the early ARG stuff that you've seen so far. That won't spoil for anything. I'm not gonna spoil anything, obviously. But
Yeah,
I
well,
I will go... And I actually want to pull up Genie's, timeline, just so we have a reference if so we're not missing anything. Let's see if I can find that. Where is it? I gotta go find that again.
yeah, Ducky, I'm listening to both I'm listening to both Genie and Kleb. I just have my Discord audio muted through OBS. So nobody's I'm talking to voices in my head on the stream, but IRL I am speaking to people.
Okay, I need to go find
who are
it.
you speaking to, Ham?
Where's it at? What was it called? What was it called again?
I don't know.
I just realized that they're all in a VC.
Oh, they
You're
are?
kidding.
Nice. They're all in Dragon Den on a call.
Oh, they are. Oh my
Why
gosh.
have it on my
Brad wishes to
good
join.
one?
I don't know, Brad. For the most.
He said maple. Anyway. Copy link. Oh, can they hear me on your thing?
Fall, I don't know if I should allow that. No. Oh, thank you. That's what I was like. Oh, okay. That's what I was like.
Ooh, that's a fair one. Automod catching that.
Yeah.
Alright,
Thank you,
shall I
Automod.
unmute you guys? Let's summon the other admins.
Okay.
You're unmuted, they can hear you.
Oh, that's fun. Hello, Ham's chat, which is also my chat, you know. Hello, everyone. Here,
Did I do this incorrect? Did I do this incorrectly? Am I going to have to start killing?
Don't kill, please. This is not a DDLC stream. This is a lore stream. Well, to be fair, there's a fair enough killing in lore too, but you know.
I did mess up.
There's enough. You did? Oh.
Well, my boohoo party. Anyway,
You apologize to Automod. I'm sure Automod accepts your apology.
Alright. I have right now I have 5 images saved onto the I have 5 images saved as OBS scenes. So at any given moment we can look at Spawn Village, Mushroom Island, Ocean Plaza, the Earl, or Robot Duck's Castle.
Sorry, Sal is just messaging me. Sal and so Bread really desperately wants to join. Sal can't.
Why does Bread want to join so bad?
I don't know. Bread, why do you want to join so bad?
Because, I mean, I had considered having Sal come in here because Sal, I mean, wasn't on the server. Like, I want people who...
Yeah,
like,
who don't know the lore.
Exactly. So we're, like, telling the story to people.
Oh, no, we're not going on the server, Bread. We're not going on the server, we're just, like, talking about it. I mean, if we wanted to, we could pop on. I could probably open up a server later if that's what it come to.
Yeah, but that's not going to be on stream because I know what happens when I try to play Minecraft on Twitch.
Well, I can put it on my stream. If people wanted that later, I could potentially open that up.
Possibly.
But for now...
So by the way, this is a substitute for a like very highly edited up recap video with like all sorts of funky things, but we eventually finally conceded to ourselves that that was probably never going to happen.
I attempted it once and it bounced.
It went all right.
It could happen, but like that would like we have other things we want to be working on it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, shall we get started?
Let's do that. Sure. Let's.
All right. I'm now switched to a scene of the shader photo that Meppo took of the spawn village at night.
Fun, fancy. Oh yeah, I see that.
Ducky says, "Tell Ham they can't hear us."
You can't hear.
Sorry, what's up? Oh, fun.
I cannot see a reason why that would be a problem that's happening because
I'm gonna definitely
they're going through the little green bar is in fact the little green bar is in fact bouncing up and down like my OBS thinks that they're talking. My OBS thinks that they're talking.
We might just be really quiet. We might just be really quiet. That's might be the problem.
My OBS. Like you're popping up the same height as me.
No, wait.
Like you're popping up the same.
Ducky, I think is right. Like I don't think it's working. I don't know.
Test once, test twice. Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Me and Klebo, we're so glitchy. I just tried to come through.
Yeah. That's a pain. Hey, you have 6 viewers, yo!
The MacBook is macking? That's... what? Okay, I'll try turning them up.
I mean, I don't even know if it's a problem with, volume. It might be. I'm unsure. But, I'll pop open the timeline and we can discuss events just kind of as we go.
Well, I want to make sure that they can hear you properly.
Well, of course. Like, I'll just... I didn't say I'd start going. I'll pop up. Genie already has the timeline open as well. I can see that.
Someone come into my chat and, like, tell me live whether things are working.
Yeah, I'm in your chat, and I'll just deafen for a little bit. Genie, I just want you to talk for a little bit. I'll see if you're working. Okay, chat, we're gonna listen to this.
The microphone like audio mixer is showing that like you guys are like talking as normal. The little green bar is bouncing. Genie, talk please.
You guys can hear that, right?
Yeah, it's just buggy. If I try leaving the call and rejoining.
You guys can hear that too, right? Like in my chat, I'm gonna check my chat. You guys can hear, right? Like it's bugging out for Genie. Those on my chat, on my stream, you can tell that it's kind of like bugging in and out. I think it is. Yeah, it's bugging out.
What is going on?
You know. I don't know what's up with that. That is odd. Here.
Lab, is there any change?
No, not really. Sorry. I don't know. It's This has literally never happened before.
Crap.
Should I like just cut stream and try restarting my OBS?
You could try that.
Maybe?
You could try that, or you could try restarting
because
Discord.
This is a problem. I'll try restarting both, honestly. Because this is something that my OBS has never done. I've streamed multiple times.
I know it's
kind of funny. That's kind of funny. No.
It's funny, but like it doesn't make for good content. Sorry, Fall.
We're ending stream. Good thing we didn't start.
Yeah. We do audio tests first. That's how this works.
All right. Well, the stream is over, guys. Let's all go hop off. Good night, guys.
No, that's over. That's 8-bit lore in a nutshell.
All right, let's restart everything. Let's do this.
Yep. All right. Well.
How was your day?
It's going all right. Yeah. Hey. It's going okay. Sad we didn't need to start this a bit earlier. It's a bit of a late stream. See how long we go for, but we'll see.
Who cares if it's a stream or a VOD, as long as we get recorded, kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I'm just wondering like how late we're gonna go, and I don't know how much internet I have left, but we'll see.
My voice quits at 11.
Fair enough.
Because I'm tired, man.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Oh, he's back.
I am back.
He returns. Yeah, I might give a little sneak peek, just like if we have nothing else to talk about, I'll give a little sneak peek of some 16-bit lore potentially, or maybe like some like other stuff I'm gonna do on the stream.
All right, let's start stream.
Can you start a stream? Yeah,
just see what happens.
Just now.
Actually, let me check something.
Because now I'm curious. Is everyone on my chat? Is audio doing okay? Is audio okay? Is audio like somewhat decent? Mm-hmm. Thank you, Fall.
Right.
Thank you, Fall.
I have just gone live. All audio is like on.
Activity. What are they doing? Watch together.
So
Yep. Cool. Very cool. I will check if you are live.
All right.
Yeah, you're good to go.
Ooh, I heard myself echo. That's a good sign.
People in the chat, how are you hearing?
There you go. It sounds good, Ham. I'm hearing it live.
Better?
Yeah.
Let's go. That's a good volume. Club, you're like, that's like third. Ducky was first and second.
Dang. It's the first I see.
All right.
Rip.
VOD watchers, I guess we'll go over it again because I'll end up posting this to YouTube afterwards. Yeah. The purpose of the stream is to go over the 8-bit lore since 16-bit is a continuation. So for all the new members, and there are a handful of new members, I even consider David kind of a new member.
Yeah,
but we've got Space Fetus, we've got Panda Forest, we've got Local Ducky.
One need.
We've got one need. We've got Fall Evelyn, Tori Mori, and I don't. What's Sal's now?
Yuri.
I'll change it.
Yuri.
No, it's different. It's different again.
It's even different now.
I know.
Yeah.
I can check. I can check like the actual like, server.
Ritsu.
Oh, Ritsu. Oh, right. That's what they're gonna go by now. Yeah.
Ritsu, but jokes on us. We're calling them Sal.
Yeah.
Sal, Tori, and Fall.
That's fine. Yeah, so for all of those people, if they would like to know what's going on, because I know there's a couple people there who would want to join the lores.
Officially.
Yeah, the stream's just going over that. We're just gonna. There's no script. We're just gonna go on Discord and go in our documents and all of our old stuff and find all the stuff that happened.
Oh yeah.
To try and give a good idea of what we're
there's
going
lots that
into
happened.
with
Honestly, there was a lot that happened.
There's a lot to catch up on, and because the first like actual canon like lore event is tomorrow.
That is true. Right. And I'm excited for that. I will be streaming that. I'll be streaming my perspective of that.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I plan on streaming that. I do plan on streaming most of 16-bit lore, and from now on, if I ever do any big projects on 16-bit, I'll probably be streaming it. Just because, so look forward to that. Just because I want to have it like very much like Dream SMP style, where it's like, yeah, you should stream some like casual Minecraft, and then you stream some lore, you know, like a mixture of both. So
awesome.
Might be some
all right, well,
let's get started then.
Let's switch back to that's the wrong scene. The 8-bit SMP lore podcast screen on the Spawn Village. So, Genie and I did a tiny bit of digging before Club joined the VC.
Fair.
The 8-bit SMP joined around, it was like either this or the day after, November 21st, 2020.
Long time ago. 2 years, 3 years ago now. Oof.
3 years, yeah.
Oh man,
it's not 3 full years. Come
no,
on.
no, no.
Not yet, no.
It's 2 years, which still makes me
2
feel
full
old to
years,
think that this was 2 years ago. Like
Oh,
that
I
still
can't
makes
wait
me
till our
feel
third
like
year
oh
anniversary. Wouldn't that be fun?
yeah. It's like wow, this server's been like 3 years old. Like to think that I started this server and I was like I don't know, like a while ago. Like, it doesn't feel like that it's been that long, but it's definitely grown. I'm happy for that.
Yeah. So who is all the initial members? What's the head count?
I believe we
Obviously
had
all three of us.
three
All
of
three of
us.
us.
I believe we had
Ghosty?
Pori, Ghosty. David was
Sashimi.
later. Robot Duck was later. Sashimi.
I think that's all.
I think it was no.
Saichi
David-
and Mareepster were
Dude.
later.
David was
later.
way later.
Dude.
David's way
Yeah,
later.
Dude
was
the
an
original
was
as
an
well.
OG. Yeah. I can go check.
Okay,
my
so
tape.
us three, Pori, Ghosty, Doot was
Sashimi.
and Sashimi.
Sashimi
was,
and bread came later.
that was all.
Came
Yeah,
later.
that was
meat
all later.
came
That was all
later.
later.
Yeah.
Everything else was later.
Everything else was later.
Right.
Oh,
So
was Saichi an OG?
No,
No.
not at
No.
the beginning. Saichi
No.
came
no,
later.
Saichi
Okay.
joined
Just a little
like
later.
around the Christmas event.
Oh right. Okay. Right.
I believe was what it was. So we got started. Klebo, what did you do in like your first few days? Because
My first few
those-
days, I was actually recorded and is on my YouTube right now. A series that I have not finished and probably won't. Gonna be honest, was my first few days on 8-bit. I wish I'd recorded more of the lore stuff. I didn't. I recorded all the lame stuff. You know. I recorded all the Minecraft survival stuff.
You recorded like you doing
Up
like
to
cave
the-
mining and
Yeah.
building
XP
an iron
grinding.
farm,
Yep.
building a house.
Up to the Ender Dragon, and I recorded the Ender Dragon fight. I might just post that on my VODs channel just for fun. We'll see.
That'll be fun.
I did
But
that.
First
hate
few
that Ender
days,
fight.
from what I remember, I mostly just built a house. I gathered materials. I think I got diamonds like first day, just because I dug like straight down into a cave, where I suffered in a water ravine, surviving off of a tropical fish.
Yeah,
and
so
wheat.
day one of the server was pain.
Day one was
Pretty
pain.
much all around it was pain. Klebo
Yeah.
dug down and found diamonds, but ended up starving to death, fishing in a hole and growing wheat in a cave.
Almost.
While the
death,
rest of us,
but,
suffered through a huge thunderstorm.
I think 2 back to back.
yeah.
It was so long.
Almost
And
died
actually-
to skeleton horse jockeys or
Yeah.
whatever it was.
Me and Dude nearly died to those.
Yeah.
I remember I like was in the middle of a forest and just like was standing on a pillar, screaming. As like little mobs are around me. Sorry, my desk broke.
That was great.
Yeah, fair play.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, we had all of that.
It was mostly
Actually,
just
because
survival,
of that,
right? It was mostly
Yeah.
just survival for the first bit.
the bit that I may not mention is that this is an accident. If you want to like know the memes of for whatever reason, the weather cycle was turned off following the pain of the first thunderstorms, and it wasn't turned on again
Like
for
months.
months because nobody realized. And when I realized it and I turned the weather cycle back on, it snowed instantly where I was standing. And I was like, oh,
that's so
that's a
much
thing
fun.
that happened.
That's fun.
Yeah. I personally made a little hole in the ground and grew wheat, and I fished for food. And I think our initial plan off at the beginning was we were all going to develop our things. We were all going to kill the Ender Dragon, and when we killed
And
the
then
Ender
war
Dragon,
was gonna start.
that was when no, we didn't have lore planned out as an actual thing yet.
Nah,
the
we didn't
the
care.
original version of that.
Right.
The original version of that was when the dragon died. We'd be allowed to do things like pranking and griefing and
That's what it
stealing.
was. That's what it was. Yeah.
And then that never
lore thing
actually
didn't-
happened.
Yeah.
Because we
It just turned
realized,
into
oh
lore.
wait a minute, we've got like Doot and Saichi and like people who are like actually building cool stuff and like would actually be upset if they got ruined.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And we're like,
I'm
okay, we'll
gonna be
tone down
honest.
on that.
Actually,
What's
I'll
up?
bring that. I'll bring that up later when we get to
Yeah.
that part.
Yeah,
But-
the lore was something that nobody ever discussed. We just kind of like, some of us just silently thought, yeah, we should do this.
I think the first official lore event was it the prank on you, Ham?
I
or
think
was
it
it
was the prank on me. Yes.
It was the
I think
prank
it
on
was...
you, or it was was it, or was it the war threat
Oh, the
from
rabbit.
me? Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean the potato war. I don't know if that counts as lore, but
No. So, on my little map,
that was
on
the
my
first prank.
timeline,
Yeah.
I don't count the potato war as like
Okay.
anything dramatic.
Then the first
because
one
it
was the prank.
agriculture.
The first one was the
First
prank.
one was the prank in January
23rd.
23rd, and then the Kushi incident was the 6th of February.
Okay, so they were pretty close together. So things had started to
Yeah.
ramp up then.
So yeah, but we had I think because lore was sort of in the back of our minds, we had sort of like created like some of us had already like kind of created characters. Genie was a mercenary, is all I remember.
Yeah, I remember at the beginning where like it was just gonna be a survival server, and it initially was just gonna be a survival server, and then we were just like, hey, what if we made this like we had some like lore, like the Dream SMP or something like that? Because that was big back then. That was huge back then.
I think yeah, well yeah, it was galaxy wide. I think the thing that we had kind of had in mind, Club, that we thought was going to happen was that there was going to be a war between me and you.
Yeah, there's going to be a little prank war. And so I started the prank war, right? That was my initial plan. That's what I was going to bring up, is that I initially pranked you thinking, hey, I'm going to prank Ham, and we're going to have this funny little war, because that would be interesting, right? That would spice things up a bit. Then I accidentally moved Ham's villagers. But there was a lot of stuff. Ham got on, took the prank very, I don't know, poorly? Not poorly, but like, there was almost like a serious...
No, Ham. Klebo. No, Klebo. See, here's the thing. I was actually thinking that the prank was gonna be like a lore bit.
Yeah.
It was obviously supposed to be a lore bit.
Yeah.
There was a, I guess I won't be able to pull up the photo, but there was a funky banner, there was random and there was a noise machine built into my walls,
which I will say, the prankster or the lectern, whoever you want to say, I did tell them, hey, here's some wool, here's some wood, put these under the jukeboxes or the note blocks, and they didn't do it. Like I gave them like beds and stuff. I'm like, do it so it sounds good. And they didn't. And I came back and he's like, why is all this thumping? And it's like, what?
No, it was so weird. It sounded like somebody was like lightly like knocking, like putting a fist in like against the wall. And I was like, what is going on? It feels like my floor is shaking this whole time.
Yeah.
It was so ominous. But yeah, there's the banner, there's the creepy netherrack and the jungle wood, which we'd all come to fear later on. We'd all come to fear later on. But actually the fun of this is that some of this is just like not recorded in like any text channel or anything.
No,
but when that happened, I reached out to Genie, and I told Genie, hey, you know, there's all this stuff. But Genie initially said, hey, you should get Klebo with this. Like, do like, regardless, like we don't know who the prankster is, but just frame them so that you can go and take a jab at Klebo because it's funny.
Yeah. And so you guys had this, you made it huge, and that's why I didn't come out right away. Like, I didn't expose myself right away, because you had this huge, like, I don't know, you made this, like, oh, we're gonna have a, like, we're gonna expose them, we're gonna, like, give, like, public, like, a humiliation. Well, no. I was like, you know, I'm gonna hold off a bit.
Club, that was further ahead.
I was further ahead? Okay.
But, no, I don't know like, what made I was in on it. Me and Genie were actually going to take the banner and all the stuff, like, copy the banner, and we were gonna see if we could, like, prank you.
Okay.
There were two issues with that we ended up encountering. Number one, we didn't know where you were.
Yeah.
That was problem number one, because at this point Klebo had given up on his house and was trying to build this big redstone base that wouldn't be done until the end of the server.
Oh, and that's what the map was for. Oh, okay.
It was like the whole map thing. But
yeah.
Problem number two is, in the back of my head, I was pretty sure you'd done it. So I was like, okay, well, if I do it back, if I do it to Klebo, I can't frame the prankster if Klebo's the prankster.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wait, I can't do this.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
So that's the reason why the prank war didn't happen, is because it was framed that way.
Okay. But I did do the prank on you initially, like, right, and I apologize for that publicly, right, because of the villagers, purely because of the villagers. That was pain. Uh, I just initially just tried to switch out like the composters or whatever for crafting tables because I thought that'd be funny. I'll disable his auto farms for a bit till he notices that the villagers got out.
Active potato war sabotage.
Exactly. But after that, like all the jungle wood and stuff, I had no part in. Like I'm gonna like I knew like actually for the first one I didn't even know it was gonna happen. I was just as surprised as you guys were. I hopped on. I heard that there's something griefing, something wood placed everywhere, and I'm like, what the heck? I'm hopping on. What the heck? And I come on. My house is covered. Like there's stuff on whatever else, and I'm just like, what is this?
Huh? Clevo, you are. I don't want to cut off your train of thought here, but you are like skipping weeks here.
I know.
Yeah.
You're jumping from prank to prank, and there's stuff in between.
Oh, there is stuff in between. Oh no. I just thought we were talking pranks, so I'm like, might as well.
Club, the pranks went for months. What?
Okay, well,
we're trying to go in chronological order here.
Okay, fine. In that case, continue. Okay. Continue.
So the way that I was gonna get back at you once I got like convinced myself that you were the one who done the pranks, and actually those suspicions were further deepened when I went and messaged Saichi, and Saichi was like, I'm pretty sure it's Kleb.
Yeah.
Because like Kleb's straight up lying about not knowing where your base is. I was there. He knows.
No, that was one thing, is that you're like, oh yeah, you'll never find my base, and I flew. I just so happened to find it one day, and I'm just like, oh, well that's fun. I just randomly figured out where Ham's base is, and he has no idea I knew where it was. And then I think I knew where just the initial like the tower was, like the little pillar you had with the chests on it. And I thought that was it.
That was a natural landform. That was just a giant protrusion of rock that I was putting my stuff on.
I'm like, oh, that's it, right? So I'm like, there's gotta be more, but like I don't know where it is. Then you're talking about this underground thing. I'm like, okay, I gotta find that eventually. So I think at some point during the night when I was there was a torch, and I found your cave that went down. So I knew exactly where your base was before you had any idea that I knew where it was, which I found that funny because I lied to you, bold-faced. Just like, I don't know where it is. I don't know what you're talking about. And I knew exactly where that was.
I know, and Saichi's telling me like, yeah, that's not true. I was there when he found the base. Like,
yeah, no, it was a fun time.
Yeah, it was good. But my plan actually to get back at you was not to prank you, because I mean obviously like it's me. I was like trying to be sneaky about it. My plan was actually to join Sashimi in the pet war.
Oh, fun. Despite
I don't know if I've ever mentioned that, but I lied to people. I lied to you, Kleb. I lied to Genie.
Probably.
I lied to people, and I said I'm not joining the pet war.
I'm not surprised.
And my plan was actually.
Oh man, so I had two traders on my team, of course.
I can probably, Kleb. I had been openly DMing Sashimi before we made the teams.
Oh my gosh! So I had two traders on my team. Wow, I'm so good at
I had reached out to Sashimi like right when the war started happening. I was like, "Yo, I'll help you out."
The war happened a lot later though, but the threat of war happened soon, like right after the first prank.
That might have been the reason. No, never mind. Actually, Kleb. There's this random side note.
Yeah.
Storyline wise, it was such foreshadowing that you like broke into Sashimi's base like in the first couple days of the SMP.
That was funny.
Like you just found the portal and busted it. He was like, "Get out!"
I don't know what it was with me. What it is with me, but I'm just so good at randomly finding people's bases. Like I found Sashimi's island in the first few days. I found his Acacia village later. I found your base. I wouldn't be surprised if I found, like, Pori's base at some point on 16-bit. I haven't been looking. So, I found a bunch of, like, hidden things just randomly about, because I'm just apparently good at finding those kinds of things.
Yeah, I think around this point, Saichi, obviously Saichi has joined. Mareepster, I think, has joined. And at this point, I think, Bread has, like... we should mention Robot Duck.
Oh,
Robot Duck was like, we didn't list Robot Duck as one of the OGs, but Robot Duck was like first couple of days.
Yeah, he was soon after he joined. He grinded up. He gave me like an enchanted pickaxe in the first few days. I remember that. Like he was on, like, hey, yo, have this efficiency 4 pickaxe I don't need. I'm like, sick, yo, thanks.
Yeah, Robot Duck and Shiota were the One Need and Easton of the 8-bit SMP. They grinded hard, except they didn't the way that they did it, they didn't like do what you guys did and like build like super absurd like big things and get a million like diamonds or whatever.
They weren't at that
what they
level,
did,
but they built the castle, right?
They built. I'm switching frames. This is Robot Duck's castle.
Here,
This is what Robot Duck's castle looked like by the end of the server.
Yeah, at the end of the server, he had like 6 or like 6 beacons, 4 hexabeacons.
Yeah. Yeah, like, it's over. It's like I think it was 24 beacons that he was trying to get.
24 beacons, yeah. He had a lot.
Yeah.
He had a lot
So
of all those things in the bottom there are pillager banners.
Yeah, and like
floor.
We say that this
the throne is still there. The throne is still there. Oh, that's
This is what the castle looked like by the end of the server, but most of like I mean the walls all existed at the beginning of the server. What they did was they grinded 2 main things. They leveled they like deforested a huge area and built huge walls, right? Like a lot of the internal development of inside the castle walls came later.
Oh my gosh, he had so many logs that I would constantly go and just yoink
because he raised down a roof forest.
He leveled the forest. He leveled the forest, yeah.
Yeah, it was
a dark oak forest. So like it's even.
And the other thing was that him and Chiyoda also found a woodland mansion and got a totem.
Right.
A couple totems, I think. And so Robot Duck flexed that on us at the dragon fight.
Totem, yeah. Like he was
like, yo, I have a totem.
I think he was the only one in. No, it was me and him who were the 2 full netherite people there.
Yeah, you were the 2 full netherites.
Yeah, and he did all the work for the dragon fight. Like he just kind of slapped the dragon. It's like all the rest of us are doing whatever else. I think afterwards we went on to go search for like elytras and stuff and shulker boxes and whatnot afterwards.
Yeah.
But
yeah, actually, it was like they were like back to back. The Christmas event and the dragon fight were like back to back.
They were pretty close. Yeah, because the dragon fight was where was the dragon fight? No, it's after the iron farm, right? Because I had the iron farm, obviously. Potato war. I don't know if you have the dragon fight on here, Genie. You also don't have the Christmas event, but that's okay.
Neither of those were like big lore events, but they both happened. Christmas, we all got together. We had a couple of arena battles in this little tiny arena.
Because I had full netherite by the time we got to the. I only had full netherite just before the dragon fight, and we got full netherite. I had my full netherite by the time we had Christmas.
And actually, something that we don't mention is that we had a minuscule repeat of the Christmas event at the Christmas house for New Year's.
Right.
Yeah, like it was literally just Christmas event part 2. We all just went back there and hung out. And the only reason I remember this is because I found Saichi's screenshot where it said, "Kleb, your fire arrow is in the wooden stair. Concern." And that was from that because Saichi wasn't at the Christmas event. Saichi was at the New Year's event with the sheep friend.
Right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Wait, wasn't it? I could have sworn that was for Christmas.
No, it was for New Year's. We just went back to the Christmas house and did it all again.
Yeah. It's like, oh, right.
Without the presents. We just went there and vibed.
Right, I forgot.
Which again, it's now become a tradition. I don't think I did it I didn't do it for Create 8-bit, but now for 8-bit and 16-bit, I've hosted a Christmas event. Which is definitely something. I'll have to host an Easter one this year as well. We'll see how that goes.
Oh, jeez.
I'll make it a bit different.
You and Genie do that again?
I'll make it a bit different. I'll switch things up.
Let me have
No? Okay.
So I don't remember when talk started about Robot Duck becoming king.
I think that was before he even joined. I think like he joined and he's like, "Hey, can I be king?" I'm like, "Sure, yeah." And I'll be like with you, right? And then the 2 of us agreed that we were going to work together. And apparently at that point, right, it was a few years ago. Before or like just after Among Us, just after we started getting into Among Us.
Yeah.
And I still trusted people. I still trusted people.
Yeah, back when you still trusted people on the server.
Back when I trusted people. Don't anymore. Nope, that doesn't happen. No, I'm kidding.
Absolutely
Only half
not.
joking. No.
But anyway, so now we're past the new year. And this is where actually I get into a talk with you, and I've been convinced that you're the one who did the prank, and at this point, I've like mentioned to you that I'm pretty sure that you're the one who did it, and you've been denying it.
Yeah, of course, as I do.
And I know you had like varying levels of involvement with what you did and what you didn't, but I was like pushing it. Oh, it's totally you.
You were constantly pushing it was me. Like you were pushing it. Dude was on my side because I don't think they were able to accept it.
That's because Dude.
They didn't want to accept it. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, this is the fun thing is that around this time I was in high school, but I think Saichi, Klebo, Doot, Genie.
Yeah, we were all going to the same.
All
school.
went to the same school.
Yeah.
And so when it came up, and actually Klebo, this is what made me think that it was totally you, is like after one conversation where I'd be like, hey, that's crazy how like the pranks just haven't happened in a while. The next morning when Doot the next morning Doot came online and said, oh my gosh, there's like there was Junglewood and like flaming netherrack and banners absolutely everywhere. I'll switch back to Spawn because they were all over here.
Ham was like, "Oh, it's totally Klebo," and I'm like, "Heck, this is not gonna look good for me."
I know, it's the worst timing possible for you.
It was because it was totally separate. It was just a random coincidence. Yeah. Like it was like I didn't tell them; they had no idea. It was just like such random timing, and it was hilarious.
I know, it was so bad.
It looked horrible for me. But
what made the discussions on who did it so like interesting is because like you had gone to school and told Duke to their face like, no, I didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
And meanwhile, I was like entirely certain you had done it, and Saichi was even more certain you had done it. Yeah. Saichi knew there was somebody else, but Saichi was still sure you'd done it.
100% sure, yeah.
Yeah. And so that's what I think made like everything break, because then what we did.
That's the thing, because I didn't lie. I never lied at that point. Like I hadn't lied.
I think.
But
I don't know if this is before or after Chinese New Year. I built a little pagoda.
No, it would have been afterwards. It would have been after Chinese New Year, because I had the fireworks. Right?
Because I know they were. Oh yeah, okay. We actually need to explain.
I had the Chinese New Year fireworks. Yeah.
So I built a little pagoda out near the jungles, near Pori's base. I think that's where it was nearest.
Yeah, it was somewhere near there. It was in like a little enclosed little island or something like that of like trees. But like it was this clear.
It was something like that. I just built like this little pagoda, bamboo all around the place. I built a gong.
Like acacia.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna pull up a frame of it.
Here, I might open up the build poll just to like share with other people, just to show us what some of these look like.
Yeah, I have the folder where I kept all of the photos. So I'm just gonna real quick just create a new Twitch scene.
I'm going to create where can I find just like a box?
Okay. It's too big. It's too big.
Just so I can like.
So I'll delete this afterwards, but this is what the pagoda looked like. I just built this. I built this in like a day, and I was online for way too long doing it. But there were cakes inside on the table. I've got floating lanterns that are not as good as the ones at Genie's Temple and Krager. I've got bamboo, and I've got the gong, which would actually play there's a bell attached behind it. So if you were to press the button on the gong, it would play a bell sound behind, and it would shoot a bunch of fireworks at. You can see all like the redstone repeaters set up.
There's the CNY. On my stream, I have the CNY open. That's
I've put it up on my stream as well.
Okay.
So this is where we all just kind of had fun. We had a PvP tournament, kind of. We had a shooting competition to see who could shoot the gong from the roof of the pagoda. I recorded the whole thing. That was before I had figured out how to record sound, so it's all silent, but we can see who won the fights if we want.
Yes.
This was the 1st time I think we'd ever frozen the daylight cycle for an event. And then I think every other event after that, we started doing that because we were like, whoa, that's crazy. We can actually have fun doing a holiday event without getting killed by mobs every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And having to sleep every other moment. Yeah. But the idea for this is I made just red and yellow fireworks without any patterns. Like I just like took basic firework, add some red and yellow was basically the what I did. And Klebo took some of the excess fireworks after the event was over.
That was something I did, yeah.
Then all the pranks happen. Everyone's arguing. Doot Doot was quite certain that it was Robot Duck, I remember, who had done the pranks. And there was a lot of evidence to the idea that Robot Duck had done it.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, I was like pushing that it was you, and Saichi was in the VC saying nothing in a boat outside the White House.
Yeah.
We were all just kind of chilling. Yeah, Saichi was just in a boat outside. I'll get rid of this. Yeah. So you can see on the right side there, that little white brick, that's the White House. And you can see it's like an ocean. It's an ocean side. The cobblestone that's filling up the bottom left corner is just a bridge that was built across the bay. It was a big, it was a big ocean.
Find anything about the
very, very large ocean.
Spawn Village, yeah. So you have the more official pictures. I'm just kind of like going with it, and I'm just see it if I can find anything.
I took all these screenshots. I have a folder where I have all of them. So on hand, I can just create edit my Twitch scene and pull one of the photos in.
Yeah, but that right there, the box right there, yeah, that's the White House. That was an interesting spot. That a lot of things happened there.
Yeah, that White House was never used ever again after a certain point, but it wasn't this point. We'll get to that. Yeah. So we hold a meeting. We're all discussing who did it. Yeah. There's the main people who are in contention are Robot Duck and Klebo.
And maybe a few. I don't know who else was Sashimi ever?
Oh, I mean everybody was thrown in the air. I was thrown in the
You were thrown in. Sashimi was probably thrown in.
Pori and Meep were thrown in.
Yeah.
Because no one had any real there are a few people who knew more than others.
Yeah.
But it was
Genie was the bookkeeper, the minutes woman, if you will.
Minutes person.
Woman?
Yeah, Genie wrote books, just outlining
illegible books, mind you, but books nonetheless. I'm kidding. I only tease. I tease.
80% of it is legible. 80% of it.
I tease.
Yeah, the 20's debatable.
Yeah, but
yeah. And so then finally, I give up and I say, Saichi, you have something to say? And Saichi posts screenshots of DMs.
Yeah.
With Klebo. That Klebo had deleted the messages, but Saichi was just too fast.
Yeah, that's what happened. Because I realized afterwards,
basically admitting that yes, it was Klebo, confirmed. And the only thing in there was that Saichi had blanked out the name of the accomplice.
No, there just wasn't a message. There was an accomplice referenced, but the accomplice wasn't named.
No, Klebo, the message literally was literally you saying it was me and then there was a black box.
I will say, I knew Saichi was going to do this. If we're talking about this, I knew Saichi was going to do this.
Yeah.
What happened was, when it initially happened, Saichi asked me, it's hey, you know who did the pranks? I won't tell Ham. And I'm just yeah, haha, because I trusted people back then, right? It was me and insert person here. And they're haha, so funny, and they must have taken a screenshot of that, right? And so eventually, they tell me or something like that, it's I'm gonna expose you, and I'm please, listen. If you're going to expose me, do not expose the other person. I want to keep this going. This is something, we've started some sort of story, something we have plans. Trust me, don't expose them. And thankfully, they kept my wishes.
Saichi did not. And actually, I find it really funny that you keep saying back when you trusted people. I feel you could have gotten that trust from anybody but Saichi.
Yeah.
Because back then, Saichi and I were
I knew you two were close, and I'm I don't know how much she can really keep from ham, but like, I'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens, right?
Just because I probably won't mention this later, Saichi ended up moving in with me on that world.
Yeah. that was definitely something, yeah.
Yeah.
But
so Klebo, once exposed,
emotions ran high. Emotions ran high. I made the instinctual decision to run back to my house, open the ender chest, and grab the CN1 fireworks. These like yellow, whatever, not very powerful.
Klebo, I don't think you ran anywhere. I think you just had them. I mean,
no.
ahead of time.
What happened? I didn't have them. I didn't have them ahead of time. What happened was we were talking, and as Saichi was exposing me, I walked back to the house, opened my ender chest, and like thought about it, and I grabbed the fireworks. And I walked on back casually, like I didn't run anywhere. You're right, but I walked back, and I stood on there waiting, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this. Like, if they're gonna bring me down, and they're gonna do all this, like, they mentioned something about, like, I believe public humiliation was mentioned.
Wait, what?
Like, you're gonna, like, throw eggs or something
we were talking about what the punishment was gonna be, and...
Right?
we were thinking, okay, what's the punishment? We didn't even know who it was. Like, what's the punishment? I think it had to have been Robot Duck who suggested public humiliation.
It was public humiliation by throwing eggs at them, I think.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
that had to be Robot Duck.
Yeah, but I'm like, screw it. If they're gonna expose me, right, I'm not gonna go down without a fight. So we go back. Unless you want to tell this. Unless you want to tell this side.
I mean, there's a little bit I just want to make sure gets in. So as Saichi finished speaking, I stood up on the table and drew a bow directly at Kleb's face, and Kleb didn't notice.
I didn't see that. No, I don't think I saw that.
But this is the thing. Klebo put on all his armor and started shooting fireworks everywhere. Yeah. And the reason I didn't react is because I thought the armor was a response to me drawing the bow.
Oh.
Kleb, because if you would,
that could have gone interestingly,
yeah. Yeah, see, like I wasn't expecting the fireworks because I thought you were just like being defensive.
And here's another reason I trusted Robot Duck. Let me kind of explain, right? I started shooting fireworks. Meep, I think, broke out the window. I killed like 2 people from the fireworks because they weren't very strong. They were like level 1 fireworks.
No, they did no damage.
I think Meep if anything,
died to the fireworks.
If anything, it was a distraction. If anything, it was a distraction. I intended it to be like lethal, but they weren't strong enough. I learned my lesson. But if anything, they were like big distraction. I started just going at people and killing people.
Yeah, you started critting people out.
Like
we had a no armor rule in the White House.
Yeah, none of the can't remember. Oh, what was I gonna say? I don't remember. But I started critting people out. I just started killing. Oh yeah, that's what it was. None of the deaths ended up being canon, so it didn't really have an effect on people.
Yeah, and it's because we hadn't actually come up with the canon live system yet.
Right.
Like that wasn't something we had done yet.
No. But I ended up killing people, and as I was outside, Robot Duck also joined me in killing people. Like, I was outside, and he's like, yo, I'm gonna help you. And so we both just started critting people out.
Yeah,
which is another reason I trusted him.
And this is also why people thought this is why people thought he was the lectern for so long, Gleb.
Exactly. Exactly. He started critting people out as well. And so I ended up running away. I think that wasn't. I don't think anyone burned my house down that time.
No, nobody did.
Not that time.
Nobody did. Yeah. So we go on with our lives.
What was the next thing? At this point,
Genie, you've got the document. Correct me if there's something in between this and the next wave of pranks where the banners started having letters on them. Was that just straight up the next thing that happened?
1 second. Yes.
That was the next thing that happened?
The next thing that happened was after the first SMP meeting on March 2nd was when the blue, green, and red banner showed up.
Oh, right. I mean, there was a bunch of pranks in between. There was like a threat. There was a TNT threat. Oh no, you're going March, right.
The TNT threat was specifically April Fool's Day.
Yeah, that was April 1st.
And I'm not forgetting that date because there was no TNT.
Yeah.
We did find a house, though.
What?
So,
Wait, what do you mean? What
next?
house? When does the shrine appear? When does the shrine appear under the
Shrine, I
greenhouse?
just
Under the
passed it.
greenhouse.
Yeah.
The
So
18th of March.
And is that before or after the second, like the big
that
like,
was
banner
after.
wave of?
Oh,
It was
banner?
after.
No.
Like
Sorry, I
when
thought
the
you were gonna say the
banners,
second.
the banner started saying letters.
Oh, that was. No, that was 28th. That was 28th. That was March 28th.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the 28th. So it was before.
Okay.
It was
So
before.
the thing that happens before is somebody locates a. I don't remember who is.
Dude and Pori.
Dude, okay, yeah, they found this like big shrine underneath, and this is where we lapse into like actual lore.
Yeah.
The only thing is the canon life system wasn't implemented by the next meeting either, which Kleb, I'm so sorry.
Still mad about that because that legit did nothing for the story.
I wouldn't say it did nothing.
Well, no, not well. It didn't have any. Well, no, I can't say that either. It did have lasting effects. Just
it had lasting effects on you.
Well, I mean, and you guys, but not in lore. Not in lore though.
Kind of, yeah. But anyway, we find the shrine and it's got a lectern in it, and the lectern is basically saying, "Hey, I'm the one doing the pranks. I'm like Klebo's accomplice. I've been doing these things."
Yeah.
Doot starts talking. I start talking. We're just chatting it up with this with the thing.
This like
the
person
lectern?
entity thing. Someone.
When does when does the lectern actually join? Actually, relative to that.
That was much later. No, they didn't join
Okay.
for a while. It was like way later. I think it was after even mine. Oh, it was 13th of April. Yeah, April 13th. After the third meeting.
Actually, that's crazy. Okay. So anyway, another wave of like all the fiery netherrack and all that comes up, except instead of banners with like just funky designs on them, it is banners with letters on them. And I think they spelled out the word deal was what it was.
Yeah.
They spelled out the word
D
deal
initially, yeah.
Yeah. That was like actually built on top of the White House, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah,
There's
that all came up.
letters.
We decided to do a second meeting.
Third. This is technically the third one. Because there was the first one where nothing happened. The second one was when I Chinese New Year fireworked everyone, and the third one was the one. It was the one.
This was the one.
This was the meeting.
Let's set the stage. Klebo has said that he is not going to the meeting. I don't remember what you said your excuse was.
I said that you guys probably wouldn't feel comfortable with me around because I killed everyone last time. And you guys probably wouldn't like it. It's like you guys have your no armor rule. Like it's okay. I won't come. I don't need to know.
Yeah.
I've already been accused. I wouldn't help. Right. So I stepped out.
Ghosty was boating around this time, so Ghosty avoided all of this. Doot had to leave at one point. And I think Klebo sort of.
What? I thought Ghosty was at the meeting.
Ghosty was in a boat. Ghosty was in a boat.
Okay.
Yeah, Ghosty was in the turtle boat.
Ghosty avoided all the chaos.
Okay.
And Doot had to leave early, so Klebo literally straight up told Doot what was going on, and Doot had to not tell us.
That's why Doot left early. Was because I told them in advance because they didn't want to be part of lore, right? So I had a lore event planned for the meeting, lore thing, and they didn't want to be involved. So I'm like, here, I'm gonna tell you when to leave. Just leave when you can. Leave when I let you know, right? And
Kleb, I had like enchanted up my diamond armor. I had brought potions. I had brought my trident that no one even knew I had a trident yet.
Oh, that's funny.
I had like come in so armored up to fight you.
And I didn't show up.
You didn't show up. I was like, oh, maybe the lectern reveals himself. Oh, I just want to be careful, right? I know what happened last time. So, I'm going to say what I think. The paper must have come out and just someone didn't notice, right?
No, the book came out and no one noticed. I think someone picked it up, or it just bugged out. Something like I swear I tested it. Yeah. But it just didn't
what did
work.
the note say?
I believe the note was something along the lines. I don't actually remember. It was a while ago. I believe at this point, I was trying to act like me and the lectern were like the same person, or like I was acting as the lectern, or something like that.
Yeah.
I remember it being some sort of like notification of like, hey, I'm here. Yeah, I don't actually remember. I don't really remember what it said. because I don't even think I still have the book. It said something along the lines where I was trying to act as the lector, maybe possibly a threat in there too.
Well, anyway,
I'm not sure.
So we're all armorless, standing in the White House, when suddenly the floor opens and is replaced with dispensers in like 5 places. I think it was 4 places.
No,
so
it was at least 5.
Okay. So
I
multiple,
think.
and it's a super confined. Like, if you look at the size of that White House, it's a confined space.
It is.
Lebo had dug out this like chamber larger than the White House underneath the White House.
Yeah.
And I had actually, I had found the cave, and I just didn't go deep enough to.
I'm gonna open up Minecraft, and I'm gonna show my redstone world where I designed it, because I made a full-on replica of the White House and everything.
Well,
while you guys keep talking,
while
I'll
you're
set
doing
that
that,
up.
yeah. So, Genie's bookkeeping again. We're doing our thing. We're discussing all the stuff. And then the floor in 5+ places opens up, is replaced with dispensers. This is a really cool build Club did, by the way, if I wasn't so salty about it happening in the first place. And it shoots... It starts firing extremely, like, powerful, loaded up, like, with fireworks stars.
Yeah.
Fireworks, like red fireworks.
I had been grinding for the dye for the last so long.
Yeah, the red dye came out of the iron farm, right?
It did all come out. And I think I had a rose bush as well that I used a bunch of bone meal on. And I might have even used some of, like, Meep's flower farm at that point. Like, to get a little bit of the red dye. Like, I grinded up dye. Like, it was crazy.
You know what was the worst thing? Not only did the fireworks kill every single person inside that room instantaneously, but we had all set our spawn inside of it.
See, Ham, I'm going to tell you this. When I was designing it, I initially thought they're going to set their spawns in the White House because I know there's beds there and I know they're going to sleep. Is there a way I can break the beds? But I just wasn't able to fit the pistons there to, like, break the bed so you guys would respawn elsewhere. Like, back at spawn. That's what initially I didn't want to kill you twice. I initially wanted to break the bed so you guys respawn somewhere else. But I just wasn't able to fit it in.
Yeah, so the fireworks kill everybody, and then they kill everyone again, because the time it takes for us to, like, jitter-click respawn isn't the time it takes for the dispensers to empty.
Yeah, it was...
Like, we're like, oh, just respawn instantly, and it's just like, it just keeps shooting. It's like, oh, it's not done, and we all die again. And so, this was the bit where I burned your house down.
Right. Here,
I went out...
It's a bit laggy. I have the thing opened right now. I don't remember what I was just testing out, but I have the build right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. I did, in fact, rebuild the White House in its entirety. Like the bed, the chairs, everything. So I had everything right. Like I fully remade it. I went back and forth from the server, and this was the redstone beneath it. This was the little trap doors.
Whomever came in and yanked it.
Right. So I was off.
Someone's real interested in this.
I was off. In a separate cave, right? Like quite a few blocks away, like in like one of Sashimi's old houses. And I had a lever and a button. The button was initially supposed to activate a dispenser, right? That like popped out a book underneath, I believe, this chair. Yeah, there's supposed to be like a little book in here. That was where Doot was supposed to sit. Doot would read out the message, leave, and I would flip the lever. And it's not as and fireworks, it's not as fast because it's lagging a bit. It's a little bit faster. But fireworks came out and instantly killed anyone who was in the room. Right? And then it would close back up when I deactivated it. And these were loaded, right, with like powerful fireworks. So I'll even give an example. Here, I'll put on just like full netherite while you keep talking and I'll show it off.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm proud of this, honestly.
I like got all my weapons and stuff back, and I was like, oh, let's go kill Club. And I'm salty that I didn't remember that you had a pearl stasis chamber literally in your house.
I did, yeah.
Because after we had all gone, yep, lore's over, you went, hey Genie, can you teleport me back? And Genie's like, sure, and flips it, and I'm like, I could have done that! No!
Yeah.
So you come back. I burned your house. You rebuilt it.
Keep in mind, everyone didn't have armor. Like, no one had armor, which was
yeah,
even
absolutely
funnier.
nobody had armor.
Just even funnier.
So next thing, April Fools. It's April Fool's Day. We've been going on the Shine lectern for a bit, and we read out a message saying, "Hey, I've put TNT under, like, I've loaded up a whole bunch of TNT under someone's house, and it's gonna go off. You better go find it." And that as soon as I read that, I was like, that's gotta be an April Fool's prank." But unfortunately, we do have to go check. So
Just
me,
sure.
Genie, and Doot Doot took a composter, a piston, and a lever, and started X-raying everybody's house.
Yep.
We X-rayed all of Spawn. We X-rayed my base. We X-rayed Doot Doot's, like all Doot Doot's fancy places. And then we went further. We X-rayed Pori's base. And then we went to this village, just this naturally generated village that had been like burned down. So it had like been arsoned way back like during one of the pranks, and we called it the burned village all the time.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
But so, I can't remember who it was. I think it was like Doot Doot or something. We didn't even composter glitch it.
It was just a load. It was a chunk glitch. Yeah.
Running into unloaded chunks, and Doot Doot saw a gigantic, like, it wasn't a shrine, it was a whole lectern themed base with like all the jungle wood and the pumpkins. I forgot about that. Pumpkin withers had been popping up.
Right.
Soul sand, and then like jack-o'-lanterns.
So I will say, I tested out the fireworks. They 3-shot anyone without armor. So it was instant, and it was quick, and no one had any idea what was happening. It was chaotic. It was wonderful. But yeah,
I know. I figured out instantly when I was like, "Oh, of course, Club's still online." Of course, Club's still online. And
you like were I wasn't in the VC, but I was told that you like screamed, like you yelled as soon as it happened, and it was
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
I make the fun haha joke about the fireworks thing to realize that I'm actually genuinely afraid of it and remember it to this day.
No, I
remember vividly. Ham, because Ham sat next to me in the meetings. Yeah. I had a book open and I just saw red, followed by Ham screaming at the top of his lungs.
Clap! Yeah.
And the quickest saved I've done to that book existed.
But I do remember I left a shulker box nearby of invisibility potions.
Dude, I've robbed you of your potions.
You stole my shulker box because I instantly left. As soon as I set off the fireworks, I left. Well, no, what happened? No, I set off the fireworks. You guys died twice. I turned off the fireworks and left. You guys would have died a lot more had I just left them on. But
we might have been able to find you if we hadn't been like trying to recollect all our things.
Yeah, but what happened was
because we were like, okay, this is yours. I was trying to get all my potions. I had a lot of stuff on.
What happened was, so I was invis, right, and I snuck out afterwards, like after I turned it off. No one saw me. But one funny thing I will mention just before, the library, right? Genie's like library was right beside where I dug out to have my little fireworks, like, control center. Right? And what happened was Saichi decided to go down into the library. So I saw her name tag right through the wall. And I look in my inventory, and I have, like, 8 seconds left of invisibility. So I'm like, heck, what am I gonna do? I guess, like, I think what happened was I can't drink a new potion because, hold on. Sorry.
Because it makes a sound.
Yeah, because it makes a sound. So I'm like, okay, well, she's gonna know I'm here. So I think I either, like, shifted or something until she left. Or she left just in time for me to drink another potion. And it was, like, a movie, like, intense moment of, like, oh my goodness, I have, like, no time left. Please leave. But it all somewhat worked out, I guess, for me. It worked out for me. But my house got burned, and that was a fun time.
Hold on. I'm going to pull up a scene of the Lectern's base.
Here,
because
I can
we
actually
found
do we
the.
have the coordinates of that? Because I can go there.
Are you
Unless
on the server?
I am. I have the world. I have the world download on a single player. So I
If
have.
you're able to go to the burnt village in just spectator mode.
Okay, I will.
For the sake of my.
Hello.
Yep.
If you go to Dude Dude's house and go into their, go walk through their garden.
Walk through their garden. Just give me a second.
Yeah, like the nice leaved garden.
Sorry. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, the nice little garden.
Jump
Yeah.
over the leaves.
Yeah.
Go to the very end. Jump over the leaves. You'll find a river.
Yeah.
Take it. Take the river going away.
Going away. All right. And I'll find it eventually.
And then you'll find the PetSmart. And then you can find the town from there.
Yeah. I just need the chunks to actually load. But
I
you guys keep talking about that, and I'll go look for it.
All right. So on my stream, this is what we found, and there's rooms branching out to this. So Genie, Dude, and me find this base by accident, just the way the chunks loaded, we saw it. So this is there. There was a giant jungle tree farm, an automatic pumpkin farm, and there was a gigantic, like ceiling, walls, and floor covered map of the entire inhabited server.
That's right. Yeah.
With named banners of all of our bases.
I found the village.
Which I know we went back to a couple places,
there's
and we actually found.
The base. Okay. Yeah. Here I found it.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about Emmanuel's cell.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But there was this. There is the Nether portal here that was there. There was a storage, I think, somewhere. Yeah, right here, of just a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, storage rooms.
Storage room.
Yeah.
The dog. Oh, Clifford. Hello, Clifford. I didn't know you were here. Hello, Clifford. Okay. Yeah. There's.
So we found.
My stream's a bit laggy, so
this.
I'm sorry about that. But. Because this is a big world. We were on this world for a solid year, which is why it's so laggy, because there's a lot of information to process. But it was this massive map of, like, there's the castle, there is I don't know what that is, that Pori's old base, and then that's the Christmas house, I guess? I don't know. There's
if it's near
Spawn.
Pori's base, then yeah, that'd be it.
Yeah. There's a Spawn. There's my house. There's Genie's little mountain. The White House over there. Greenhouse. All sorts of stuff. Dude's place over here. Like, it's this massive map of, like, everything, and it's crazy. Where's the water plaza?
Yeah.
There's the island. There's Sashimi's island, or Pori's island, I guess, but it was Sashimi's at that time.
We'll get to the water plaza. That does crop up in lore. So,
it does. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we'll mention the water plaza. We'll get to it. So,
So
Genie, what's the next?
Oh, there's the pagoda. I found the pagoda.
That takes place
I found the pagoda.
after the discovery of the Lectern's base.
Where's the
After April 1st. After April 1st.
Fifth wave.
There's the fishbowl.
Robot Ducks spelling AEL. So I think we have deal at that point.
Oh, okay. Oh, it was just a D at first. Okay, so it's a deal now. We have banner spelling
and then
deal.
back then I did see OR. So no, if that's never mind.
No, we had found the rest of the banners in the Lectern's base, so we knew the entire message spelled deal or no deal.
And then here's the third. Here's the third.
You know, like the hit game show. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah.
Oh, we got the Lectern joining.
Oh right, where they crashed the server.
Okay, so yeah.
The Lectern has an account now. At this point, the Lectern has a Minecraft account to themselves.
Yeah. So, yeah, the Lectern joins. The server crashes, which we jokingly say is their fault.
Yeah. Which it happened, like, very soon after they joined, which was hilarious timing.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
So, we were all freaking out. Mm-hmm. We were all freaking out. The Lectern hopped into the Nether and went straight to my base. And this is the one book that I think was never mentioned, because at this point I'm like, oh, the Lectern. I'm not going to let anybody see our conversations. And I ended up accidentally deleting the screenshots of the book.
Rip.
Yeah, that's the one book that, like, we don't have records of. Is my first ever discussion with the Lectern.
Private discussion with the Lectern, yeah.
All right, what's next?
Here, let's go check. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go check. Let's take a look at the. Oops, that's the wrong.
At this point, I think we can start using actually the archive channel that I was using.
Probably.
Yes.
I will pull up.
There's gonna be some stuff that's like still secret that was not mentioned here, but I'm gonna scroll up and I'm gonna see if I can.
Here, we
get
got the
to
lectern joining, more banners. Oh, the Gatorade vines. The vines and the SMP council meeting, which I wasn't there for, obviously, for reasons that will be mentioned.
The S. Okay. Oh, the SMP can't. Okay. So
But
yeah,
the
extra
Gatorade
vines pop up. The Gatorade vines, which is it was all
Here,
warped.
do we still have a ribcage? We
warped
do not
nether
have a
warp
ribcage.
blocks.
Ribcage, no.
Warped nether warp blocks, a bunch of bone blocks, and
yeah.
shroom lights.
Yeah, and shroom lights.
And we immediately named them the Gatorade vines.
Yeah, they're like right over here behind this like big area. It was this big flat open area just around Spawn Village. Yeah.
The screenshot I'm looking at, it grew all over the.
Oh, the greenhouse.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it was at one point it was around the greenhouse. It eventually like migrated to this like flat plaza area, like little.
Oh yeah, because it just grew. There was a big flat area there. They grew, is what happened. Like we came back to it without having gotten rid of them, and they ended up growing.
Yeah.
We can like fully go behind the scenes on this. That was Breadman.
Yeah.
Who did that?
That was Breadman who had done that because they were trying to insert themselves in lore, and they thought
Breadman
it'd be
was trying to
fancy.
Breadman was trying to do some lore, and it probably would have worked if the lectern didn't already have like a whole script planned out. But anyway, so the SMP council meeting this is just a nick that we gave ourselves. Because me, Genie, and Doot were the only ones who had found the lectern's base. We might have like told Mareepster in passing, but we didn't really bother.
Was Pori part of the SMP council?
No, it was literally just the three of us.
Oh.
Yeah. There's an entire group chat on Discord that it's just the three of us.
Called the SMP Council, where it was me, Doot, and Genie, and we did meetings at Genie's Ocean Plaza. Which at this point, let's switch the picture. This is Genie's Ocean Plaza.
I need to remember what the coordinates to that were. I don't actually remember how to get there.
Klebo, where are you? Go into the Nether.
I'm at spawn.
Go into your Nether portal.
Nether portal? Okay. Yeah, because you know how to travel through the Nether. That's right. You have all the. Oh wait, hold on. Before we go, Ham. You remember this little 8 made of wheat? Anyways.
You suck. Anyways, on my stream, this is the super nice Ocean Plaza. It was what, like third or fourth best build rated that when we did the poll at the end.
Yeah, it was definitely okay. So I'm in the Nether. Go like down here, I think.
No, do not go down.
No.
I just realized we never explained the rabbit war.
We'll explain it.
That happened. No, that happened later. That happens later.
No. No, not the rabbit. No, but like the instigating, like.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we didn't explain that.
That was old.
That was old.
So it's just random. Sashimi stole Klebo's rabbit Kushi and faked its death.
That is my back
faked
to the door.
Its death. Klebo knew it wasn't dead, but he decided to use it to start a war against Sashimi.
Straight up. Yeah.
That's why.
You have to get over that hill.
Okay. Oh, I think I remember.
Don't go up.
It was like down over here or something, right? What the
hell?
Yeah. Is it like down here somewhere?
Yeah, jump down there.
Okay.
It's not that one. That portal's Robot Ducks.
Okay. And then this one, go a little bit further, I think, right?
That one should be. I know your stream's lagging, so I'm just assuming
that's fine.
To Dude's one. Keep going straight through that little ravine.
Yep.
And you should just find like a nice little opening.
Nope. Okay.
Nice little space. Okay.
Down here.
If you turn to your.
Attention.
Okay, I don't know where you are now.
Okay. I'm heading back. There's a portal. Sorry, we're trying to find the water. You explain the. Keep going, Ham.
I can't talk over you two.
Oh, fair enough. Sorry, my bad.
I tried.
Go straight. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm sorry. There's a bunch of cobblestone here.
There should be mushrooms.
Yeah, a bunch of mushrooms right here.
On a little ledge.
Yeah.
On Nylium.
On Nylium? Well, there's Nylium here. I don't know if they're on Nylium.
The other way.
The other way? Oh, here. Yep, I see it.
Walk down there. There'll be a staircase. Just keep going down.
Oh, here. Down here. Okay. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Anyways, continue, Ham. I'll figure out my way.
There you go.
Okay, so Sashimi killed Klebo. Not killed. Sashimi faked Klebo's rabbit's death.
Yeah.
By hiding it under the floor. Klebo knew that it was alive, but he decided to get the lore going by starting a war against Sashimi.
Right.
At this point, the rabbit war is just like all speculation. Nothing's actually been planned for it.
No. Not for a long time.
I have intentions to join Sashimi, as I think I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get back to the SMP Council.
Water Plaza.
Did we ever actually do anything?
Technically yes, physically no.
You didn't end up like making any difference, but you technically met a few times, I think.
The books exist.
Yep. So this was the Water Plaza. This was like Genie's like outside, middle of nowhere, like build. I don't actually know, where did you guys meet in here? Like just one of the houses?
There's a meeting room.
There's a tiny meeting room. I don't know how. If you go down in the water, you'll see a small little ravine. There's a sign across that says, "Do not worry." It will not be in a house. It will be flat in the opening.
Be aware.
That says, "Be aware." Near that little entrance thing, you'll see.
It's like a hole in the floor.
A hole in the wall.
Okay.
Oh, this thing. Yeah, I see it. Okay. That's fun.
Yeah. So we'd meet there. And I think the only purpose that the SMP Council ended up actually serving was that I ended up retroactively making some Vine lore canon.
Which I was intentionally not invited to this because, you know, I previously
nobody else
the entire
was invited
server.
to this because we knew about the Lectern's base, so nobody else was invited.
Yep.
But I was intentionally not invited because I was gonna kill people, you know.
You were the main person where we were like, you can't even be online.
Yeah.
We're absolutely not saying anything. Yeah.
I knew it was happening.
This is where we start.
Yeah, I didn't know when, where,
and
why.
Actually, this is where I'm gonna go on a little tangent because this is where lore that didn't actually happen got written to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So there was one bit. There is a mine shaft like above the meeting room. Okay. Like a mostly unexplored mine shaft, and there's one meeting where and Genie were just kind of fooling around, going through there. I made it canon at this point that Breadman had an encounter with a supernatural force called Emmanuel.
Yeah.
And decided to accept being sort of like an avatar, I guess, of Emmanuel.
Something like that. I have a lot of chrome.
Just like an instrument of his will, basically. So Bread was the one who grew the vines under Emmanuel's power. He basically made a skin that was like half blue and half his regular skin. And in canon, this did not happen. This absolutely did not happen. But in canon, the idea is when we were in the mine shaft, we were ambushed by Bread.
Yeah.
And that was something that Emmanuel didn't want. Bread was just being like violent and stuff for fun.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we end up doing,
and you guys, what ends up got erased or whatever, right?
Emmanuel takes me, Genie, and Doot, not Doot because Doot doesn't participate in lore technically, and wipes our memories. Just puts a little bit of himself in as like a memory block. That'll be relevant later. That didn't happen. That was something that we had to say happened in order to make future lore make sense. Because what actually happened is Breadman just started acting, just started doing all these things, putting on a skin and scaring people, and we had to go in and say, okay, we're gonna pretend that this is what happened, so that the way Bread's acting makes sense.
Yeah. Like Bread was just trying to like insert. Bread was just trying.
Bread just said I ate you up on my chat.
Bread was trying to insert himself into lore. Avatar Way of Water.
Yeah.
But Bread tried to insert himself into the lore. And we were just trying to figure out like a reasonable way of like actually like executing that.
Yeah, and I suppose I should also mention at the same time that the SMP Council meeting started up, the Lectern also started placing mini shrines places. There was one underneath Me Potato Gas's house, which Nepo and Bread sort of lived together. Pori not bought, but like took Sashimi's Mushroom Island, which also you know what? Let's look at that. So this is the Mushroom Island.
Too many people found it, right? Too many people found it.
Yeah. So
and he's like, I'm gonna move out, right? And he gave Pori the island.
Yeah, so Pori ended up just taking the whole place, built a Porygon statue at the back. This bee garden that you'd see in the tree, this was built by Sashimi. The house in the middle was built by Meppo, I believe. And Pori just took the old house that Sashimi had in the hill at the back and
I'm
the
heading
left
to
side.
the island right now. It's a bit laggy, but I will head to the island just to go show it off for a bit. Because I remember how to get there. Somewhat.
Yeah, and we'll do sort of... We'll mention this now, because Meppo wasn't actually in lore, but Meppo was the richest person on the server, and it wasn't even close.
By far. No, like, Bread, like, helped him, but, like, Meppo was like, oof. Bread and Meppo were, like, the duo. Like, I don't know, the dynamic duo
It was absurd.
Wealth.
Meppo was the reason that half the people on the server got netherite armor at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Bread saying netherite beacon in my chat. Yeah, so Bread and Meppo created a max powered hexa beacon at spawn. Which if I switch to can you see it in the? No, it didn't exist yet when the screenshot was taken.
I got you. I'm going back. Actually, I'll just myself.
All right, if you want to see the netherite beacon, go to Kleb's stream.
I got you.
For right now, because it's not here. But they built a max powered, so they built a max powered hex beacon. So the hex beacon would give you every effect that a beacon can give, times 2, basically was the idea. So leaping 2, speed 2, absorption 2, like it'd do everything. And then
resistance
double.
regen.
And the entire pyramid was made of netherite blocks. All of it. That is, I believe I did the math at one point, over 5,000.
Like, all of it. It was massive. It was like, it's insane.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. But anyway, so yeah, these small lectern shrines started popping up. There was one at Robot Ducks, one at underneath Meppo's house, and there was one that was built at my base, underneath the floor at my base. And at the moment, I haven't really talked much about what I was doing, but I had a big underground cylinder where I was growing potatoes. Because on the side,
I'll go to your base when we get to the scavenger hunt. That's when I'll head over to your base.
Yeah, we were doing the potato war, and that wasn't lore at all, but we doing the potato war. Genie won it. She was the potato queen. But that's why if you go to Genie's base, it's a huge cylinder of layers of potato farm. And at my base, I built auto potato farm underground, and I also built a huge tower with a giant potato farm on the roof. But at my base, not potato related, was the raid circle. I basically flattened out a huge complete circle around my base, so that because there was a village, like an artificial village in the center where I bred villagers and stuff, I could do raids around it. Which meant obviously I just like built slabs out in a huge platform wherever there was like a lowered area. I had to knock down half a mountain. But there was one shrine that was underneath the floor, or in the raid circle, like just in a river that was going through the area. And I was talking to the lectern this entire time, and this was the reason why I was able to go to the lectern and say, hey, Bread's doing all this stuff. How do we go about this? And the lectern tells me, hey, I've got this character, Emmanuel. I think the lectern had already mentioned Emmanuel, so it worked out nicely. I was like, great, we'll just say that Bread's doing that. I was talking to the lectern on and off, trying to get the lectern to trust me about stuff.
This isn't the Mushroom Island. Where's the Mushroom Island, bro? Bruh.
Can also mention actually by the end Bread's mansion. Bread had a pretty sick mansion.
He did. I don't know where that is. I think it's on the island, isn't it? No, it's not. It's not. It's. I don't remember where
It's
it
like...
is.
It's right near it.
It's near it, yeah.
Okay, I'm actually gonna pull up a photo of it.
It's on the bill pole, if I remember correctly. Oh man, my game is lagging a lot. It must not like me being on 8-bit and streaming and like all the things, and it's just like not having a good time. Trying to find where
it always comes in too large. Jeez.
Okay.
All right, this is Breadman's mansion. I think the only reason it didn't get higher on the like the poll for the best build is because there's absolutely nothing inside this thing.
Yeah, it's a purely exterior build.
Yeah, but it's sick. It looks super nice.
It does.
Good job, Bread.
GG Bread.
Yeah. Anyways, back to the vibe, the nice vibe.
Oh, there's Ghosty's Turtle Pond. I found Ghosty's Turtle Pond.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We should mention Ghosty. Mention. Brad just screamed in chat. I was lazy. Ghosty, for this entire SMP, just went to an island off of spawn and bred turtles, and Ghosty did very little else. Ghosty attended a couple meetings, joined the pet war eventually, which we'll get to. But anyway, so at this point, the canon is the lectern is existing.
Base eventually. Ooh, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So if we've gone on too many side tangents, here is the sum up for the viewers here. The lectern is on the server and just kind of existing. The SMP Council, which is me, Genie, do know where the lectern lives. Kleb and the lectern don't know that we know that. I am simultaneously working with the SMP Council to figure out like all the mysteries, while I am also trying to make deals with the lectern on the side.
That's not what I was looking
underneath
for.
my house.
I accidentally found Meppo's which can help me find the Mushroom Island, but I found his mob grinder.
Oh, nice. It's bridged to the mob
It
grinder.
Is. That's what I'm saying is that can help me find it. But
yeah. And I guess next little added bit that I'll explain is that also during this, Kleb and the lectern are having disagreements.
Yes.
I don't even know. Kleb, can you explain why you two like started like arguing?
So essentially, what happened was the lectern really didn't like what I did with the White House massacre. That was one thing, because initially it was supposed to be
didn't want to kill people.
They wanted to mostly stay out of killing people. I wanted. I don't remember what happened entirely which caused disagreements, but like I remember us just like not liking each other for a minute, where it's just like I don't like that you're taking over power on my server. I want the power back. I want influence. I want the people to, you know, like respect me as their owner. And the lecturer was like, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Like you can't just go around killing people. Like that's not how we do this. Right? And so I don't know, there was just more disagreements there. We just had different like similar motives, but like different executions per se.
Yeah, and I think I've just remembered exactly what order everything kind of went in for the next little bit. So the lectern, not trusting Klebo, came to me and was like, hey, there's been like, you know, this like disagreement with Klebo, which I had to like take all my effort to not say I already know that, because me and Genie and Doot Doot had been reading your mail. We had been visiting the base and literally like screenshotting your books and reading everything and just not telling anybody. So then the lectern came to me and was like, oh yeah, I'm having this disagreement with Klebo. I was like, I know.
I know.
You don't.
You don't say.
That's crazy. That's genuine. That's wild.
That's crazy.
But apparently Klebo had put in like a little ominous message saying, I am planning to do something with Genie's Coliseum. Genie had built like this big like Greek style arena.
I'm not going there. I don't know how to get there. I'm not going there.
Don't
let it die.
It's I'm not gonna put it up either. It's just this little andesite and stone brick like ring with like audience seats.
We never used it. I'm kind of sad. We should have used that, but we never did, which was
yeah, we
sad,
absolutely never used it. The most interesting about that thing was that you used a ruined portal right near it to get places, which was like a giant like 10 by 10 portal ring.
Yeah.
That was half underground.
Yep.
Here's the
But
island.
the lectern, not knowing exactly what Klebo was planning for the Colosseum, came to me and said, "Hey, figure out
Bread's
this.
mansion.
This is your job."
Found Bread's mansion.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
So figure out what Kleb is doing for the Colosseum stuff. And I didn't know where the Colosseum was, and I was pretty sure I shouldn't ask. So I mapped half the world. Actually, no, it was the whole world. I mapped like pretty much the entire world, but basically similar to what the lectern did, but in 4 maps. Because I just instead of covering an entire room with it, I put it into a 2x2 square of just extremely zoomed out maps. And it ended up being for nothing. Because halfway through me mapping the world, Doot Doot and Genie went into the base and found the same book. And Genie obviously knows where the Colosseum is, so we all went there and just checked it.
Yeah.
And I had to finish doing the mapping project so it wouldn't be suspicious.
Right.
So I go to the lectern, and this is where I have to like be sheepish. I'm like, yeah, so actually we know where you live.
Yeah.
And that's why we know this. But there's nothing at the Colosseum. Like, there's actually, like, full-on nothing there. And the lectern was like, are you sure? Are you sure there's nothing there? And we're like, yeah, we kind of checked pretty thoroughly.
Yeah.
And I believe it is right around here that the pet war happens. I think this is where the pet war actually takes place.
Because at this point, I think I had finished my my redstone base, which I'll show off later. I'll just find that and just show that off, because I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, at that point, I wanted to finish my redstone base, right? Because my idea was, people are burning down my house, and I don't like that. And I don't want people to steal my stuff or blow it up while I'm doing this war. Because I didn't know how out of control it would be. I didn't know where it would be, when it would be, what style. So I wanted to be safe. So I created this, like, hidden redstone base where I hid all of my goods. And the reason the war was delayed so long is because I wanted to finish it first. Or at least get the storage done. And it took way longer than it should have. And eventually we got to the point where I was like, yeah, I'm satisfied we can do the war now. And so we set this up, and I'm still salty about this war.
Yeah, so understandable. Yeah, so Kushi's death was like one of the first things to happen in the server lore, and the war is finally happening now. And we were kind of going like with clear-cut teams. Klebo was gonna like hire Genie as a mercenary, and I was gonna join Sashimi to get back at Kleb because we were kind of like enemies at that point. Except then a wedge got thrown in when we were making the teams because Meppo and Bread both agreed we want to fight Pori. We want to go and we want to have our Pori, and we were like, well, okay. And so the teams ended up being Klebo, me, Ghosty, Saichi, Genie, and Pori versus Sashimi, Robot Duck, Me Potato Gas, and Breadman.
Ham, let me go on my little rant here. I do every time, and I will not stop. It was essentially like junior high dodgeball. That's what this was. Ham, me, and whoever else got in a VC. We had a list of people, and we picked team captains, because that was a great idea for war. Whoever thought of that, perfect. Because I was banking on being able to be like, yo, join my cause. This man's killed my rabbit. Who would want to join? I should also
point out, Kleb, the other team captain wasn't Sashimi. It was Meppo.
Sashimi didn't even bother showing up. Like, the man's like didn't care at all. He could have cared less. He couldn't have cared less about the war. And I was just like, listen, like I was the team captain, and I'm like, okay, well, I want to keep good relations, and I wanted it to be. Apparently, there is this notion of it being fair. And I'm just like, this is war. This isn't dodgeball. Like, we don't have to keep the teams equal. Anyways, I ended up hiring 2 traitors, so, you know.
So Kleb, our team actually did have, like, 2 extra people is the thing.
No, it was one. It was 1 extra person.
Was it 1 extra person?
Because there's the 5 of us and the 4 of them.
I thought it was 6. I thought it was 6v4.
Was it 6? Was it 6-4?
You, Ghosty, Saichi, me, Pori, and Genie.
Oh, no, it was 6. Okay. Okay.
So it was 6v4. And so we went in. Saichi was in charge of doing the Pearl Stasis
Yeah.
chambers. The plan was we'd say a code word if we needed help, and Saichi, hidden in a cave, would save us from being killed.
Would pull us into like an obsidian box of like stasis chambers.
Yeah. So we start the war, and it becomes immediately obvious that all of our plans for like setting up hidden bases and towering up and building sky bases, and like we had all sorts of plans that we were gonna do. It didn't work because Brett and Meppa were good at fighting people, and they just ran in and started critting
Keep
out.
in mind, what happened, what the plan was eventually when I chose Ham over like Robot Duck or whatever, because I had the choice, I'm like, okay, Robot Duck has wealth, but Ham has brains, and if me and him and like whoever else can like get together and think up a strategy. Ham also had tipped arrows at the time, so I'm like, oh yeah, I want some of those. So we're like, okay, if we can come up with a strategy, we can.
I did have a plan.
You did have a plan, not my plan.
My plan.
Yeah.
So the plan that I had, and I had stuff in for this, was tower up into the sky and lava cast a huge wall.
Yeah.
And it was going to be the ugliest fortress of all time, but we just lava cast our way up and just build like a fortress using that. Like technically all we'd have to do is just bridge in the sky and make a big square and then place lava source blocks and like there, done.
Yeah, boom.
Like we just created a huge wall, and that was the plan. But it didn't work because we didn't have time to stop and place blocks.
Yeah, it was.
We were too busy getting owned.
me, Ham, whoever else thought this was gonna be like trench warfare, where we thought it was gonna be like, or like something like that, where it's gonna be like, planned out like strategy, like we're gonna have enemy lines and like go whatever, and then the other people who I don't know why it was my genius plan to let all the PvP people be on one team just rushed in and were like, yo, charge, started shooting fireworks at us. And I will say, for the record, I survived the longest and gave up because I could have kept running, but I gave up. I had like 3 lives or whatever when everyone else was dead. I'm like, there's no chance I win this. I tried to fight. I thought
we all so that was the bit. And then at one point, Genie started trying to.
No, at some point, Genie came in, flipped my stasis chamber. I was somehow stuck behind like an ender chest and a shulker box, and started shooting fireworks at me, which weren't doing any damage. so I just killed Genie.
And then when Genie respawned, Saichi killed Genie.
Because Saichi was in the box with me.
Yeah.
So it was a time.
So goofy.
It was a time.
So we lost. I
very badly.
lava cast then a big like cylinder, just like a cylinder. And I said it was just going to be a little room for us to declare the winners. We all got inside the cylinder, and I blocked us
it off.
And
as you
I
do,
had I had told the council ahead of time, Genie and Doot Doot, that this was happening. I think I had whispered to Pori as well. I said, we're gonna arrest Klebo right here. So I blocked him in. We tried to arrest him. It did not work. He just broke out and flew away.
Because we're all in Netherite, right? So no one can tell who's who. And there's like 8 people at least who had like full Netherite in that room.
I know.
So
I think I was on you, but I was unfamiliar with Elytra functions, and my chunks also load at the speed of like a snail.
So what happened was I just panicked and I just looked around and I broke through the wall, and I believe I trident pearled onto a nearby tree, put on my Elytra, and flew away, and no one caught me, and I just ran away for like thousands of blocks, and then Bread came back, I think, and burned my house.
Yeah, Bread like set off TNT, and that's where we actually had to like do a stern talking to with Bread, because he had actually like blown up a couple of your chests full of stuff.
Yeah.
Which like fire doesn't touch that. That's where we had to, like take.
Which is why I moved all my stuff to the base in the first place.
Fair enough. Bread is saying yeah, ha 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 in
yeah,
chat.
Yeah. But
yeah, that was a good time.
That was I did that, and there was one chest left full of like non-stackable, so like armor and a few weapons here and there, like random stuff. That just kind of got disregarded and blown up.
Nice.
But
yeah. So
I don't know what happened.
The thing after that.
explain my perspective of the
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
talk
you got
about
an
your
IOU.
biggest.
Yeah.
So I'm the one who built the entire arena because I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a one-up over everyone since I know I'm not good at PvP.
You're
So
gonna
I
know the
casually
arena.
convinced everyone to allow me to do that. And then Robot Duck came to me at like 10 o'clock at night going, hey, how do you feel about being a traitor? And I remember this vividly because Ham left for like 5 minutes. And Robot Duck was like, Genie, I'm here to put in my IOU. And I'm like, oh, why? So 2 hours later in fireworks.
Yeah.
Good to go, I guess.
Yeah, so Genie ended up betraying me. Ham betrayed me. That was just a very wonderful day for me overall. I lost the war.
Technically, I mean, Kleb, if you want to be a little bit more generous, I did not betray you in the Rabbit War.
No, you didn't betray me in the Rabbit War. You didn't betray me in the Rabbit War.
I was just already your enemy. So as soon as the Rabbit War ended, I was like,
yeah.
all right, we're doing this now.
You fought for me in the Rabbit War, but instantly turned your back as soon as it ended. Genie fought against me during the war.
Was yeah. Not Bread. Meppo singled me out first. It was a good time. I think Ghosty was the first casualty. But Meppo was like just busy chasing me half the time.
That's fun.
But anyway, and the only reason Meppo killed someone else is because there was the bit where I had Saichi TP me to escape, and then the bit where I also died and respawned. So there was those are the two gaps where Bread got to go kill other people.
Yeah.
But anyway, so after that, I distinctly remember after the Rabbit where I started DMing Saichi, like, that's crazy how Kleb wants to take over the server, except he knows he's not getting anywhere because he's just keeps getting chased out. Like, what's he gonna do?
Yeah.
How's he gonna take over?
It's me
and then I realized
the entire server, right? Like, it was
and
never
that's
gonna
when
go anywhere.
my character. This is where my character starts becoming an actual character, and not just an I'm mad at Kleb machine.
Yeah, not just that you're like law, whatever.
I think, wait a minute, Kleb is vulnerable. This is an opportunity.
Yeah.
So I DM Kleb, and I'm like, hey, do you want to meet me in, at the time I had taken down the whole automatic potato farm. The war was over. It was just a big open space in my underground cylinder that was lava floor, lava ceiling. It had all been decked out. It was just an empty space. And so I told Kleb, I'll be unarmored and unarmed. You can come in. I just want to talk.
Yeah.
Klebo goes to the lectern and said, I think he's going to kill me. Can you back me up?
Yeah, that is what happened.
The lectern did not come.
Okay, I will be honest, though. I am going to say, I don't remember if they actually did this or not, but I told the lectern, while I'm there, come on and stand by a stasis chamber. And if I say something, if I message you something, pull it. I don't know if they ever actually came on, though. I don't remember.
They were not even online.
Dang. Yeah, I don't remember. I told them that, though. I'm like, if anything happens, pull the stasis.
Honestly, Kleb, it was a very fair precaution.
Point, I'd finally realized, stop trusting people. They suck. No, just kidding. I'm sorry.
And, Kleb, I don't know if I've told you, but I did have an Elytra, several fireworks, ender pearls, and a whole lot of splash potions.
You had like instant damage and Turtle Master and whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my plan was I was going to either pearl or use my Elytra to fly to the vine to escape. Like all of the potions. Then I was gonna break the vine. All of the stuff in my inventory was meant for escape. Like I had swiftness pots, fire resistance pots. If I had to like go hide in the lava that was on the
damage. I think you did have.
I totally had instant damage and poison.
Yeah.
Like just to like smoke bomb you while I escaped because I had no armor. Like there was no way I was grabbing my armor weapons, so I just needed everything I need to stop you long enough to escape with my ender pearls.
That was unnecessary.
That was unnecessary. So I brought in Kleb. This is where I start like actually enjoying roleplay. I basically say, oh, hey Kleb, you're kind of like in a tough spot here, right?
Yeah.
And I like super super hard, like make him think like, yeah, you've already failed, everything's gone wrong. And then
Which, like, it hurt my character and my perspective of myself, and I'm like, wow, I
dude, it
suck at being a villain.
It wasn't until recently that I told you that I was RPing that.
Yeah. Well,
like,
I mean,
Clem
I
took
realized
that personally.
I realized that, but I took it as like a man. I really like, because I thought of I thought over what I'd done, and I'm like, man, yeah, I'm just running. Like, there's nothing I've done that's like actually influenced like I'm not powerful. There's like I had traumatized people because of my fireworks thing. Still to this day people remain traumatized. But but
I am living proof.
So
it made its way onto Cracker.
It did. Oh yeah, it did, but that's not this. But yeah. But in my head, I was running through and I was like thinking like, okay, well, there's nothing that I can do, right? I need, if I'm gonna try to do anything to gain any form of power, I need help. Yeah. So I accepted your offer, you know.
Yeah, so I basically said, in order to like build up my own like influence, I basically said, hey Kleb, I'll help you out, and I proved that I could by saying, hey. Oh, okay, Genie, this might be our thing afterwards.
This, honestly, it might. Yeah, if I have to leave, you guys just keep going. I just want to show off my base in the meantime. Like, while you guys keep talking, I'll walk around.
Yeah.
For those
just like silently flex the redstone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For those
I think the only disappointing thing, Kleb, is that I'll have to be explaining your lore from this point on, which is I think fine, because there comes a point where I start scripting you.
Yeah, because at this point I don't think I had much lore left. Like, to be honest, like I was with the lectern. My lore comes after the execution, after the second execution, which
is still ongoing.
Is still ongoing. That is true.
Yeah, but hopefully me and Genie can get it. But anyways, so I told Kleb, hey, I've been working with the lectern right behind your back. I told the lectern where Genie's base was. There had been a very recent prank on Genie's base, and I was like, hey, how do you think the lectern found it? That was me. Because Genie, I doxed you to Genesis. That was why there was a prank inside your base.
Genie got
because the lectern still thought you lived under the mountain.
Yeah, that's
oh,
funny.
Is that why the ravine is covered? Oh, nice. Wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, so me and Kleb agree that we're gonna work together on like some plan to take over the server. And then what's really funny is I think the next thing that happened was Robot Duck's coronation.
Heavy sigh. Heavy sigh.
So Klebo's puppet government, Robot Duck the First. We all meet together inside. Let me change the stream to show the castle again. Yep. So we all got together. If you look real closely on the right side, directly next to the quartz house, there's an obsidian box with a prismarine and diamond throne atop it. We all gathered there, and Klebo was going to be the one to crown Robot Duck the king of the entire 8-bit SMP, the Nether, the End, everything.
Yeah.
He got a Discord role and everything. Like, we were all just going with it.
Oh yeah.
Like, for some reason, despite everything Klebo had done, nobody argued with this.
Nope. Nope. No one argued with it. Nope.
Yeah. So we all got together. We made Robot Duck the king, and Robot Duck. Kleb, do you want to tell this story?
Yeah, I guess I probably shouldn't I? So what happened was I talked with Robot Duck in person, where I'm like, okay, I think what's gonna have to happen is like I'm gonna make you king, and I want to have influence, right? Like this is my way of getting back in. Like I didn't tell him that, but I'm like I want influence. So after being crowned, he's like, yo, Klebo, come here for a second. We're gonna go underneath my throne. So
in the obsidian box.
In the obsidian box, which I trusted him because I'm like, he fought for me. I trust that this is all going well so far. And he's like, okay, listen. Something being my, like, I was basically the second in command, right? And so he's like, okay, listen. To show trust, right, take off your armor. So he takes off his armor, And I'm like, okay. So I take off my armor, and we're in the range of beacons. So everyone has like strength 2. So he pops my totem and kills me.
Like, he just axe crit you and you lost your totem, and they axe crit you again and you died instantly.
Because okay, being the